Welcome to the Board of Trustees meeting for September 30th, 2025. It is 5:15 and we're calling this meeting to order. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with calling to order, which we just did, and we're going to do the roll call. Madam Clerk?
Here.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Gersage?
Here.
Trustee Westmoreland?
Here.
Vice President Souders is not in the room at this time, but we have a full quorum, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We are now at C, Agenda Adoption. Regular Board of Trustees meeting of September 30th, 2025 is before us for action. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
Thank you. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Is there any discussion? Seeing and hearing no discussion, we'll go to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. All those opposed? Okay, great. So it's 4-0 with one absent, and that is Vice President Souders not being in the room at this time. We are now at D, closed session. Madam Clerk, would you please read the closed session items?
Yes, Madam President. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
recognizing me. We're at D, closed session. The public is invited to comment on the identified items listed under closed session prior to adjournment to closed session. In order to address the Board of Trustees, a speaker may indicate his or her wish to speak or may submit a public comment card to the Board of Trustees recording secretary. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person. Per Board Bylaw 9323, the speaker will speak from the podium when addressing the Board of Trustees. Number 1, Government Code Section 54957, Public Employee Performance Evaluation, Superintendent. Number 2, Government Code Section 54956.9D2, Conference with Legal Counsel, Potential Litigation, 1 case. Number 3, Government Code Section 54957.6, Conference with Labor Negotiators, Agency Designated Representative, Reagan Hedrick, Deputy Superintendent, Human Resources, and Employee Organizations, CSCA, and OVTA. Number 4, Government Code Section 54956.8, Conference with Real Property Negotiators, property 4.4 acre parcel of land located at the corner of Warner Avenue and Nichols Lane, commonly referred to as the Wintersburg property. Agency Negotiator Keith Farrow, Assistant Superintendent, Administrative Services. Negotiating Parties, Ocean View School District of Orange County, Republic Services Incorporated. Under negotiations, instruction and authority provided to negotiators will concern valuation, purchase, and assignment issues pertaining to disposition of said parcel pursuant to agreement between landowners. And last, number 5, Government Code Section 54956.8, Conference with Real Property Negotiators, property Rainbow After School Care at 4343 Pickwick Circle, Huntington Beach, California. Agency Negotiator Keith Farrow, Assistant Superintendent, Administrative Services. Under negotiation, terms and conditions of agreement. And Madam President, we're ready to go to closed session.
Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. I appreciate it. And we're going to go to closed session at 5:18.
There's not one on that side, though. Go down that way.
Welcome to the Board of Trustees meeting for September 30th, 2025. We are returning from closed session. It is 6:06. Oh, I love it. We have a beautiful audience in attendance. It's wonderful to see you all out there. Thank you for being here with us tonight. There was no action taken in closed session, so there is nothing to report. Board, we will be returning to closed session. And we are now at F, Pledge of Allegiance. So if you guys would please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay, we are now at G, minutes. G1, regular Board of Trustees meeting minutes for September 2025 are before us for action. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Second.
It's been moved by Madam Clerk and second by Trustee Gersage. Any discussion? Discussion, we'll go to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, so it passes. Let's see, there's 4-0 with one absent. Vice President Souders has stepped out of the room momentarily and he'll return. I also want to put into the record that right before we went into closed session, Vice President Souder joined us, and it was 5:18 when he joined us. So he did participate in closed session. Okay, so we are now at G2, Special Board of Trustees meeting minutes for September 16, 2025 is before us for action. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
It's been moved. It's been moved and moved by Trustee Westmoreland, second by Trustee Corsage. Any discussion on the meeting minutes for September 16, 2025? Seeing no discussion, we'll go to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It passes 5-0 unanimously. Vice President Souders is back in the room with us. H, introductions. Superintendent, do we have any special introductions?
There are none.
Okay, great. I, time certain, 6:05, Oakview Elementary School presentation. Dr. Hofer.
I'd like to invite up Dr. Osborne and her team to talk about Good Morning, Good Start, which I can say Cabinet had the chance to experience, and it is quite phenomenal.
Good evening, President Singer, trustees, Dr. Hofer, Executive Cabinet, and members of our community. My name is Dr. Araceli Osborne, and I am the proud principal of Oakview Elementary. Our staff strongly believes that every child and community member deserves to start their day with a smile, a sense of belonging, and the confidence to learn. We would like to share with you the Good Morning, Good Start program that begins the moment our students arrive at school. Tonight, we will share with you the different ways this culture comes to life each morning at Oakview. Our first highlight is our Student Ambassador Valets. Each morning, a team of student leaders greets families as they arrive by car, helping open doors and welcoming their peers. This program not only makes drop-off smoother, safer, and reduces morning traffic, but it also builds leadership skills in our students. Our valets learn responsibility, teamwork, and how to serve others with kindness. Our parents often share how a simple good morning from one of our student valets sets a positive tone for their entire day. Our student ambassador valets are a shining example of leadership in action. They aren't just helping to reduce morning traffic. They are role models. Tonight, 2 of our valets would like to share what this experience has meant to them, and a third one will introduce another team member. First, we'll start with Elizabeth Rodriguez Martinez.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth, and I am one of the student ambassador valets at Oakview. Being a valet makes me feel proud because I get to welcome my friends and their families every morning. I've learned how important it is to be responsible, like showing up on time, paying attention, and helping everyone safe. When I open the car door and say good morning, I see smiles, and that makes me happy because I know I helped start someone's day in a good way. This program has taught me that even small actions can make a big difference.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth, and I'm also a valet. I really enjoy being in part of this program because it makes me feel like a leader. I've learned how to work as a team with the other valets and to always be positive even when mornings are busy. What I like the most is knowing that I am helping my school community, and being a valet makes me feel important, and it inspires me to keep being a leader in other parts of school too.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to share. My name is Melinda Weiss, and I am the Title I reading teacher. As the student valet coordinator, I have the privilege of working with our incredible student leaders each morning. What I love most about the program is watching the students grow in responsibility and confidence. They show up early, ready to serve, and take pride in being role models for their peers. I see them learning life skills. They learn about teamwork, problem solving, and communication, which will benefit them from far beyond elementary school. But most importantly, I see the joy that they bring to the community. A simple smile, a polite greeting, or helping hand at the car door sets a positive tone not only for our students, but also for the parents and our staff. It's amazing to witness how our valet team helps turn every good morning into a great start at Oakview.
Next, we are proud of our Community Walker program. Many of our families walk to school, and our Community Walker, Reina, plays an important role in ensuring safety and peace of mind. Reina walks alongside groups of students, easing anxieties, supporting families, and creating a bridge between school and our neighborhood. Reina, could you please share a bit about your experience?
Good evening. My name is Reina, and I am proud to serve as the community walker to Oakview. Each morning, I help our students from the Dairy View neighborhood walk safely to school. I also support some of our high school students who travel the same path, make sure they feel safe and cared for along the way. I wear my safety vest every day so families and drivers know I am there to guide and protect our students. For many children, just seeing me in the neighborhood gives them comfort and helps ease any worries they might have about the walk. Parents have told me that it makes them feel at ease knowing that their children are not alone. Being present in the community each morning not only helps students arrive safely, but also gives our entire neighborhood a sense of connection. For me, it is joy to know that by simply walking with our students, I can help them start their day with confidence and a great start.
My name is Melinda. Another joyful part of morning cultures is our morning greeters every day. Mrs. Mora welcomes families with her music and her warm smile. Parents and students alike are uplifted with the music playing and the hugs and holas, and Miss Mora shares. Miss Mora, could you share what it means to you to welcome our Oakview community each morning?
Good evening. My name is Mara Moore, and I am served as the morning greeter at Oakview in the Crosswalk. Every morning I welcome students and families with music, smiles, and a warm hello. I truly believe that the way that children begin their morning can shape their entire day. By playing fun and energetic music or simply offering a kind word, I get to help create that positive beginning. What I love most is making personal connections. I love learning the families' names, asking about their mornings, letting each kid know that they are seen and valued. Over time, those little moments have built real relationships. Parents often come and share that hearing the music and being greeted at the gate lifts their spirits. It is a joy to watch the children who might be feeling shy or nervous suddenly lighten up with a smile as they walk into school. For me, it's about spreading joy and reminding every family that they are part of something special at Oakview.
As you can see, the Oakview Elementary morning experience is more than just arriving at school. Our mornings are an opportunity to build community, to foster leadership, to ensure safety, and welcome each child with love and care. From our student valets to our walkers to our greeters, our mornings are filled with energy and positivity. This is how we ensure every student begins their day with the confidence to succeed. Thank you for allowing us to share how Oakview is living our vision of good morning to a great start. Thank you.
Oh, wait, we don't want you to leave. We have a few questions, and then after we take some pictures and ask you a couple questions, we're going to take a recess because I've been told we're having some sound issues with our board meeting. But I want to make sure we honor your time and recognize you being here. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions to the board. Any questions for the presentation we just had?
I don't have any questions, but just a comment. I've done your job in the mornings as an adult, and I loved doing that job. That was one of my favorite things, was greeting kids when they came to school. It just changed my whole day, brightened my whole day, and I'm glad you get to take part in that too. So thank you for all your work.
Girls, I just want to know, are there any boys at the school that are as brave as you and got up here tonight and represented Oakview like amazing owls that you are? No. Girl power, right there. Good job, girls.
Yeah, thank you so much to both Elizabeth and Melinda. You did a beautiful job tonight. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience, because I'm a teacher myself, and I kind of like, Vice President Souders, I love standing at my door and greeting my kids every day. And I just know how much seeing your faces might, comfort some of those kids and make them excited for their day. So I want to thank you for what you do. And thank you to the rest of you, to the adults in the room too. You guys are important also. But yeah, really, really very impressive. I think no better way to start the day than with some beautiful faces and a wonderful excitement for the day to come.
Trustee Westmoreland.
Great job, girls. You may have said it. Did I miss it? What grades are you all in? You're all fifth graders. Great job. It's nice to be a leader at the school. It feels cool to be like the big fifth graders, huh? I have a fifth grade daughter. She goes to Hopeview. I would love for her to hear about this program and learn about it. I think that's wonderful. I think that's a wonderful way to start the day. It probably makes you feel good too, as you see people to say good morning. How early do you have to be there to be part of the valets? And that's okay? You don't have any problem making that? Nice. And then you kind of get to enjoy your morning a little extra time. Thank you for coming to share. You did a wonderful job speaking, and I really enjoyed hearing it.
And I'll just add that, yes, girl power. You guys are so brave. We know public speaking can be scary. I do it consistently up here, and I still get nervous when I have to do it. I don't love it, but I just want to tell you guys were amazing public speakers. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. So keep doing it. And thank you for the hard work you're doing in your community and giving back to your parents and the students in your schools by opening those doors, greeting them with your beautiful smiles. And thank you to the principal and the staff for having this vision to put it together, because we know that it's your collaboration and hard work that makes it all start, and then implementing it. I just think that this is wonderful to be able to also having someone out in the community and giving that comfort to our community is so important to us. And so thank you for doing that. I think it's especially in our Oakview community, we want our community to feel loved, cared for, and valued. That's really, really important to me. And so thank you for taking the time to implement things and options that ensure that there's that connection from home to school. So thank you. And of course, we want to take a beautiful picture with all of you. So if you guys can join us up here, we would love to do that now.
Oh, great.
Go.
All right. It is great news. We have sound, and I thank our tech department for fixing that. We had made a motion to take a pause while this gets addressed since we're up and running. I'm going to entertain a motion to return early. Is that is that okay with everyone? And if so, I'll entertain a motion to do that.
Move to cut our recess time and return immediately.
Thank you. It's been moved in second. Any discussion on that? Okay, we'll go to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are returning back to our meeting at 6:30 since we have sound. Thank you. We just ended a wonderful presentation by the Oakview Elementary School. I'm sad that most of our community wasn't able to hear. We were unaware that we were having sound issues until they were pretty much almost done with their presentation. And we didn't want to be rude and interrupt the presentation. Babies were up there already talking, so I'm sorry for that. They did a really, really wonderful job. It was extremely sweet. And with that, we're going to go ahead and go to J, public comments. Madam Clerk, would you please read the public comments section?
Yes, Madam President, I will. Thank you for recognizing me. J, public comment. At this time, members of the public may address the Board of Trustees regarding a matter of public interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the governing board, per Education Code 35145.5 and Government Code 54954.3. No action may be taken on comments of off-agenda items unless specifically authorized by law. In order to address the Board of Trustees, a speaker may indicate his or her wish to speak or may submit a public comment card to the board's recording secretary. Speakers wishing to address the Board of Trustees after the first public comment section of the agenda will have the opportunity to do so during any other public comments to the Board of Trustees later in the meeting. If the speaker wishes to address the Board of Trustees on an item on the agenda, time will be provided at the commencement of that item. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person. Per Board Bylaw 9323, the speaker will speak from the podium when addressing the Board of Trustees. I don't have any blue cards this evening, but I invite anybody from the public that would like to approach the podium and speak. You're welcome to do so. If not, Madam President, I think we can move on.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay. And with that, we are going to move on since we don't have any public speakers, and we are now at K, communications. K1, written communications to the board. I will bring to the board's attention. We do have a communication. It's in front of you in this yellow rod paper cover sheet. It's from the League of Women Voters Observers from our, it's dated September 29, 2025. Please read it. It kind of identifies their observations of our meetings, and so please read that. K2, board committee reports. We do not have any updates on this, so we're going to move on. K3, personnel commissioners report, and I see Mr. Ewing in the audience. Mr. Ewing, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, President Singer, trustees, Superintendent Dr. Hofer, Executive Cabinet, and guests. Since our last report, the Personnel Office has continued to make strong progress in staffing efforts. Recent new hires and onboarding include the following positions: 1 clerical specialist, 1 custodian, 7 instructional assistants, ABA, 3 noon duty supervisors, 1 school health technician, 9 universal instructional assistants, 1 cook substitute, 3 food service worker substitutes, and 1 universal assistant substitute. Looking ahead, interviews are scheduled tomorrow, Wednesday, October the 1st, for 2 certified bus driver candidates. Later this week, final interviews will also be held for candidates applying for food service worker, custodian, universal instructional assistant, and noon duty supervisors. A group of UIA candidates have been assigned oral examinations through something called Spark Hire, and once their responses are submitted, they will be reviewed by our child care supervisors. And finally, preparations are already in progress for our upcoming job fair scheduled for Saturday, October 18th. A lot of stuff going on in there. Our team's doing great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Wonderful update. K4, Trustees Communications. We will go ahead and start with Trustee Westmoreland. We'll start with you tonight.
I actually don't have anything right now, so I would just be talking and talk. So I'll give up my 3 minutes and wait till the end. Thanks.
Well, thank you. Vice President Souders.
Hello, evening. So we had some issues last week with regard to, or at least I did, with regard to electives. And I was able to get a hold of a list of every single elective that we have and offer at all the different schools. And I have to say, after having, it's a really extensive list, and after having reviewed it, we actually do a really good job with electives. We provide a lot of the different electives for our students. It's not perfect, but we are limited to a certain extent. We're limited in instruction in certain things because they simply don't train teachers to instruct in certain things anymore. Because it hasn't been taught so long or been part of our school system for so long that it's no longer something that teachers are being educated to do. And then in other cases, there's a couple blank spots here and there. This was one of the things, and I know it kind of got lost probably in the very heated banter around consolidation. But this is one of the reasons why we had sought to consolidate schools, was because it gives us more opportunities in terms of electives for kids in middle schools, and I think that kind of got lost in the conversation. But that was one of the things we tried to do. The more we spend a lot of money on schools that don't have as many students in them, and it costs more money to keep them rolling, and that's money that could be spent hiring teachers for different electives in our middle schools. And it also would eliminate some combo classes as well. So there's a lot of reasons for it. I do think that kind of got lost in our conversation. It was very heated, and I get it. But so even given that, we actually still do a phenomenal job. And I encourage the board to take a look at the list, if you haven't already seen it, of our electives and how they're offered at different times and different grade levels at our schools. And I'd have to say our principals, you guys are doing a great job in terms of the master schedules. And I know that is just a crazy task to do every single year. And I'm completely surprised you guys are able to do it with such efficiency. So things are doing pretty well, I'd have to say, having checked it out. So if you want to look at it, let me know. And it's right here. Anyways, that's all I got.
Thank you, Vice President Souders. Trustee Grisard.
Yeah, I actually, the only thing that I had on my to-do list to talk about today was the electives. I was really glad to see that come through on the update, and I had to look at the list also. What I really like, too, is that there's the acknowledgement that there are some gaps at Marine View, and that perhaps moving away from some of the wheel classes to more year-long electives, it made a difference. I think his name was Aiden, who came and spoke and kind of put it on our radar. And I think it's something that I've been looking at, and I was so glad to see that come through. So thank you for that, Dr. Hofer, so that I could have a look at it. And I love that we're taking a look at it and deciding how we can better serve the kids at Marine. So through that, thank you.
Clerk Clayton Tartan.
Thank you, Madam President. Oakview's Good Morning, Good Start program is fantastic. What a wonderful partnership for the Oakview community, creating a culture of kindness, service, and love. And we know that the Oakview community has recently suffered with ICE raids and negative things going on in the community. We've seen a dip in some of the programming, especially over the summer. We went from 150 students being involved down to 25. The community is concerned and hurting, and anything that can bring joy to the community or a feeling of welcomeness and safety, I'm all for it. I attended a Wintersburg Task Force fundraiser actually last weekend, and it was headed up by Ernie Nishi, who happens to be the president of the school board where I work in ABC Unified, but he's taken on the role of working to help save the site over at by Oakview School on Warner and Nichols, and it was wonderfully attended, and they raised a lot of money, and so good work to all of the Wintersburg Task Force folks. Had a chance to meet with Madam President and our staff to talk about the issue of the Wintersburg property in our subcommittee, and we'll have more news hopefully shortly, and good news for the community on that issue. The Personnel Commission report. Wow, what a difference a year or so makes, huh? What a phenomenal. I mean, I can't wait to hear the report from our commissioner, Mr. Ewing, because it's always good news now. Like, how amazing. And the job fair is coming up. Looking forward to that. I'm still recruiting folks. Someone just wrote to me the other day and said, thanks, Gina. I think I'm going to get the job. Like, they tested and passed and all that wonderful stuff. So I'm out there hustling folks to come in and work because OVSD is a great place. I'm going to be attending the Equity and Inclusion meeting on Thursday, October 2nd, because I haven't been to one actually in quite some time. So I look forward to doing that. I'm going to be attending the Optimist Club meeting next Monday, October 6th. And let's see, the last thing I guess I should talk about is I attended an ABC Unified School District Board meeting a couple weeks ago, and I spoke about school consolidation. As many of you know, I have been opposed to consolidation in the past. It's really gotten really bad around California. ABC actually had to close, where they're going to close 4 elementary schools. 2 next year and 2 the following year, and consolidate 6th graders into middle school. We have never had 6th grade at middle school. They're moving, so I will likely be moving, and I may be even moving to high school. Yes, you heard it here first. So we will see what happens, but I want to give them credit at ABC for doing something tough. Although I've never liked it, unfortunately, we're seeing declining enrollment, and it's very concerning for all of us. Very concerning. More about that later.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I too want to echo the sentiments about the Oakview presentation we had tonight. I do think that it is wonderful to see that the principal, the staff, they're all rallying behind our community to ensure that they feel included and they're part and connected to our community and they're valued. Regardless of people's politics, I think kids should be able to feel safe coming to our schools. Parents should feel comfortable dropping off their kids to school and not be concerned about pickup and drop off. And so I just thank you to the Oakview community for thinking outside of the box, and the teachers and the staff, and doing something different to ensure that they meet the community where they are, with which there's a lot of fear out there still. I was heartbroken when I was getting the updates about your summer programs and the meals, and the fact that we had very little participation. And we know, predominantly that community really relies on these extra meals. And so to hear that they didn't even feel comfortable coming for a breakfast or a lunch meal was really heartbreaking. And so I'm hoping that we can continue to make them feel comfortable and secure, and continue to be able to participate in our school programs and just feel loved and cared for by us as much as we can. So thank you again to the Oakview principal, her teachers, and the community for partnering and ensuring that our community does feel that way. I am pleased to get Mr. Ewing's reports. And yes, a year surely has made a world of a difference. Our administration, our staff, everybody is truly working together. We are really collaborating. As the board president, it is always so rewarding to get updates from our superintendent and hear all the wonderful things you guys are doing in partnership, in true partnership, and collaborating around the table. Even when we're having not fun conversations, you're doing it out of transparency. You're having those heart-to-heart conversations. You're hearing different points and perspectives. You're coming up with ways that you can do better to ensure that at the heart of every issue, students come first. And so I just want to thank our staff for doing that consistently and passionately. I really, really appreciate you guys for doing that. And I also want to circle back and say, as a district, we want to continue to grow and do good work, and we cannot do that without you guys. So thank you to our teachers, our classified staff, for all the hard work you do every day. As far as the electives, very quickly, because my time is running out, I also, we all received an update on the electives, and I do want to thank the administration, our superintendent, for providing those. I do think that we have done a really good job. The only thing that I would continue to advocate for is that, especially as a parent that participated in the wheel, 7th and 8th grade students, they've done the wheel. They don't want to be stuck in a wheel forever in 7th and 8th grade. So I would like to see more electives year round in the 7th and 8th grade as a trustee. So I'm hoping we can work on that. So that's what I have to share on the electives. So thank you. I made it on time. And with that, we are now at Superintendent's Communications. Dr. Hofer.
Thank you. On September 16th, at the special board meeting, the board took action to approve a much-needed update to the board policy manual. I'm pleased to share that the updated board policies are now on the website under the board tab in an easy-to-use format similar to the board agenda item. So hopefully folks can easily find what they're looking for. I'm also excited to report continued progress in expanding free childcare. In the past about 7-10 days, more than 100 students have been removed from the wait list. On tonight's agenda, the board will consider a contract with the Boys and Girls Club of Huntington Valley to provide free off-site childcare for parents who are interested. This will enable us to expand access while we continue to work to increase the OVSD childcare staff and on-site childcare. This evening, we will also hear a presentation on Prop 28 from Dr. Rashida Gates. And as part of that presentation, I'm proud to share some artwork from our TK and second grade students. Their focus has been online, one of the 7 elements of art, and the foundation for so much creative expression. This is based on Miss Lozano's Circle View TK student, under the learning of Mrs. Christine Schubert. This is, I'm going to hand that to you, second grade at Oakview, Mrs. Ligman's class, and you can see while lines is both a part of standards for kindergarten, first and second grade, you can see the difference as students begin to progress. And then finally, this is kinder class at Oakview, Mr. Cause. Oakview Geometric Shapes with first grade Mrs. Grant's class as well. And so this is examples of what is now occurring in our schools because of Prop 28. You know, art is especially powerful. I know Vice President Souders has said this forever. It sparks creativity, builds confidence, allows students to communicate ideas and emotions in ways that aren't possible with words. I am also very excited to announce that this afternoon I was notified that Marine View is officially a 2025 Golden Bell Award winner for building artists, allies, and aspirations through VAPA. Congratulations to the Marine View staff led by Principal Sheriff Shibley, what an honor to win that. Over the past few weeks, I've had the opportunity to visit classrooms at Marine View and Vista View. I've observed teachers facilitating discussions that encourage students to collaborate, share strategies, build deeper understanding of concept. It was clear that the students were not only practicing academic skills, but developing critical habits such as communication, perseverance, and teamwork. I'm especially pleased that Personnel Commission Chair Bob Ewing joined me for the Vista visit, where he observed and interacted with our outstanding classified professionals. Additionally, OVTA co-presidents, I see them back there, Rebecca Broussard and Jim Polino and I have begun our school lunch listening session with teachers. So yesterday we kicked off at Westmont, where I enjoyed learning about the tradition of Ocean View cookies. I didn't realize they came in so many flavors. And
so good.
Isn't that interesting? That was a highlight. The other was I met a student teacher in Mrs. Sugimura's class who is a proud Westmont alumni, and she was such a pleasure to talk to. Tomorrow, we continue the listening sessions at Lakeview. I want to thank our staff, families, and community for their partnership and dedication to supporting the whole child. Together, we're ensuring that Ocean View has students have the opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive. And don't forget, I always like to end with a PSA. We will hold our fall job fair on Saturday, October 18th from 9 to 12:30 p.m. here at the district office. The event includes free fingerprinting and pancakes hot off the griddle served by our own Ocean View Food Services team. So come on down, tell your family and friends. We can't wait to welcome more members into our Ocean View team.
Fingerprinting and pancakes?
I know.
We are making pancakes. It is, I will admit.
There be cookies?
Well, Deputy Superintendent Hedrick really wanted pancakes, so it's a pancake bar. Earlier it was cookies, now it's pancakes.
It's wonderful. Okay, thank you, Dr. Hofer. And we are now at K6, PTA, PTO, PTSA, PTSO, President's Roundtable. I do not see a representative here tonight. Okay. We are at K7, Employee Associations Communications, CSCA and OVTA. We'll start with CSCA. We do not have a representative from CSA tonight, but we do have OVTA. Welcome, OVTA.
And that was summer.
Good evening, Board President Singer, Trustees, Superintendent Dr. Hofer, Cabinet, parents, community members, and our fellow educators. I'm Jennifer Paulino, this is Rebecca Broussard, and we're your OVTA co-presidents. On behalf of OVTA, I'm excited to share that we'll be joining Superintendent Dr. Julianne Hofer on visits to our school sites. This week, we had the opportunity to visit Westmont, where we enjoyed lunch with the staff and engaged in great conversations, especially about the cookies, which we heard were really large. And I think I remember years ago, but now they're little. We need to get them back to the big ones. That was their request. It was a wonderful chance to hear directly from our educators about the amazing work happening in the classrooms and on campus. We look forward to continuing these visits across the district. They provide a valuable opportunity for collaboration and relationship building, and they remind us all that the heart of our district is the daily work being done by our teachers and our support staff. And thank you, Dr. Hofer, for doing this with us and including us in it.
Thanks to the passage of Prop 28, our classrooms are alive with creativity like never before. These dedicated funds for arts and music education are giving students the chance to express themselves, think critically, and connect to learning in new and meaningful ways. From vibrant art projects that spark imagination to hands-on music lessons that build confidence and collaboration, we as teachers are thrilled to see how these opportunities enrich our students' school experience. Prop 28 isn't just an investment in supplies or programs. It's an investment in joy, innovation, and the well-rounded education every child deserves. As we enter October, our schools are proudly participating in National Bullying Prevention Month, highlighting the important theme of Be a Buddy, Not a Bully. Through our Character Strong and the Second Step programs, teachers are engaging students in meaningful lessons and activities that emphasize character, kindness, empathy, and respect. From classroom discussions to school-wide initiatives, students are learning how their actions impact others, how to build positive, supportive relationships. These efforts reflect our commitment as educators to nurture not only academic growth, but also the social and emotional development of our students, helping them become thoughtful, compassionate, and responsible members of our community. We feel incredibly fortunate to work alongside Dr. Hofer, our school administrators, and the school board to ensure that meaningful learning is happening in every classroom. Your partnership, support, and shared commitment make it possible for teachers to provide engaging, high-quality instruction while fostering the growth and success of every student. Together, we are building a school community where students can thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. Thank you.
Thank you, OVTA. Okay, we are now at L, reports. We do not have any reports, and so with that, we are M, consent calendar. I'll entertain a motion. It's been moved. Is there a second? It's been moved and second. Moved by Vice President Souter, second by Trustee Corsage, and we'll go to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It passes 5-0 unanimously. We are now at N, old business. We have none. So we are now at O, new business. O1, Superintendent's Office, consideration of date change of a regular scheduled board meeting from December 16, 2025 to December 9th, 2025. I'll entertain a motion and then we can discuss it.
I'll move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yes.
Madam Clerk, go ahead.
So we used to have our board meeting always in December. It was always scheduled for the second Tuesday for the entire time I can remember. Only I think it was last year due to a change with election code, the election laws of California. It was moved to the third so that we could make sure that we swore in the new trustees, or the trustees that were elected, I should say. At the time, that was Trustee Gorsage and myself. There was just a change. So in years where there's not an election, it really isn't necessary to have the meeting so late. And so that's one of the reasons that I think this should be changed. The other is because that's the 16th is Hanukkah, and we've been trying to recognize Jewish holidays as well as Christian holidays and so forth. We're trying to be as sensitive as we can. So that's really what this is about.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Clerk. And yeah, at the time when the board, approved the calendar, we obviously missed it, and so that's why it's being here. And I wanted to make sure you all had plenty of notice, so that's why it's here tonight, so we can make this correction. The public is aware of our meeting change. And so any other discussions, any questions on this? Okay, we'll go to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It passes 5-0 unanimously. Okay, and I'm sure our website and everything will be updated with that new date. Okay, thank you, Dr. Hofer. Okay, O2, Administrative Services Independent Contractor Agreement between Ocean View School District, Orange County, and Share Plate Strategies is before us for action. Is there a motion?
Moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Vice President Souter, second by Trustee Gorsage. Any discussion? Okay. We'll go to the vote with no discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It passes 5-0 unanimously. 03, Educational Services 2025-26 Agreement between Ocean View School District of Orange County and Brianna Meshke McClay for ordering, referring, prescribing, or services is before us for action. Is there a motion?
Move.
It's been moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Trustee Gorsage, second by Clerk Clayton Tarvin. Any discussion? Okay, we'll go to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It passes 5-0 unanimously. 04, Educational Services 2025-26 Independent Contractor Agreement between Boys and Girls Club of Huntington Valley, Pacific Life Foundation branch to provide off-site after-school childcare is before us for action. Is there a motion?
I'll move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved by Trustee Westmoreland, second by Vice President Souders. Any discussion? We'll go to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It passes 5-0 unanimously. 05, Educational Services Proposition 28, Arts and Music and Schools Funding Annual Report for fiscal year 2024 and 25 is before us for action.
I'll move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's moved and second, and there is a presentation on this, so we're going to pause for a moment now that it's moved and second. We'll come back to discussion. Dr. Rashida Gates.
Good evening, Board President Patricia Singer, Board Trustees, Superintendent Dr. Hofer, Cabinet, and the members of the community. My name is Rashida Gates, and I'm the Director of the Teaching and Learning Department. Tonight, I'm excited to share how Prop 28 funding is strengthening arts education in Ocean View. On November 8, 2022, California voters approved Prop 28 with a majority of 64%. The measure was placed on the ballot to provide a stable funding source for arts and music programs, which often face cuts during budget shortfalls. The money is distributed to schools based on student enrollment, with a larger share going to schools that serve a higher percentage of economically disadvantaged students. 80% or more of the funding is devoted to new art staffing, and the remaining 20% may be used for training, supplies, materials, and educational partnerships. In the 2023-24 school year, we gathered feedback from parents through the LCAP survey, school site council, and conducted an arts needs assessment with our principals and teachers. we learned that art programs were not available in all grade levels or at all school sites. To address this need, we developed a centralized action plan that allows for school personalization. During the 2024 and 25 school year, we expanded access to the arts at the elementary level by adding 2 itinerant art teachers who serve 3rd through 5th grade students. At Westmont, Prop 28 also partially funded a theater literacy intervention teacher, giving students targeted support that connected reading and language development with creative expression. At the middle school level, we introduced a new dance elective at Mesa and Vista. At Marine View, we supported the launch of a student tech production team led by 2 classified staff members. The team has been instrumental in managing performances and rehearsals and building technical skills through collaborative experience. This year, we expanded our Prop 28 art staffing. At the elementary level, we now have an additional itinerant music teacher, a contracted teacher for transitional kindergarten, 4 itinerant art teachers, and Westmont has retained their theater intervention teacher. In middle school, we continue to have 1 itinerant dance teacher. We've also added Spanish instruction through art and culture, and we've retained our 2 classified leaders of the tech team. Over the years, the Board of Trustees has made the arts a focus. As you can see here in the district-funded column, a sample of what is provided by the district. Also, I want to thank our PTAs and PTOs who filled the arts gap at the elementary level for many years. Now, thanks to California voters, Prop 28 truly increases students' access to the arts. Thank you to the board, our teachers, and our community for your strong belief and commitment into arts education. Together, we're ensuring that every child has the opportunity to learn, create, and shine. And before we conclude, I want to remind you now to mark your calendars for our music festival on March 19th and our Festival of the Arts on April 2nd. We can't wait to see you there.
Thank you, Dr. Rashida Gates. We appreciate the presentation. Board, any questions? Other than thank you so much for this wonderful presentation and keeping us posted on the great work you guys are doing to ensure the kids have access to the arts. This is wonderful. Thank you. We appreciate it.
I don't have any questions, but a comment. No questions for you,
I
Ms. Gates.
apologize. Go ahead.
Well, I didn't want to ask her a question.
Oh, okay.
Question.
Go ahead, Vice President.
It's always been interesting to me that we actually have standards for the arts, California state standards, just like you do for math or English arts or history or any of the others. And they just kind of, and they're quite extensive if you ever take a chance to take a gander at them. And we just kind of, it's like the dirty little secret in California that we do not address these standards. We have them, we just don't do it to the extent that we need to. I'm glad that we've taken steps to address these, because I think this is what brings a great amount of joy to these students in their education. And it also builds self-esteem and resilience. And I think it's an important part of growing up, not just education. So I'm glad to see it here. Anyways, that's all I got.
Thank you, Vice President Saunders. I agree with you. I do think it was good to hear Dr. Rashida Gates say that, you know, every time there's huge major cuts, it's the first thing that unfortunately always gets cut. And so it's always like we're catching back up again. And so I'm glad the Prop 28 is here. I'm really, really hoping we don't have to reverse the time and we're back to square one again, because, you know, that's where it becomes challenging. But you're right. Arts are so important. So thank you. Okay, this motion was moved. It was seconded, and then it was open for discussion with a presentation. If there is no feedbacks or questions, I'll entertain a motion to move forward, and I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It passes 5-0 unanimously. We are now at 06, Human Resources Agreement between the State of California Commission on Teacher Credentialing and Ocean View School District of Orange County for a provisional internship permit is before us for action.
Move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Clerk Clayton Tarbin and seconded by Vice President Souders. Any discussion? Discussion? We'll go to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes 5-0 unanimously. P, any other public comments to the Board of Trustees? Madam Clerk?
We don't have any at this time, but anyone is welcome to come on up to the microphone.
No takers,
Ready to
Madam
move
Clerk?
on? Nope.
Okay. Q, future agenda items as requested by board members. Board. Anything you'd like us to specifically agendize? No? Okay, you guys are wonderful like that. Thanks for not trying to keep me too busy. Okay, our Board of Trustees roundtable will start opposite this time. We'll start with Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, you're up.
Thank you. So, as I was saying earlier about the consolidation that's going to be occurring in the school district that I work in, unfortunately, the school district has seen a loss of about 5,000 students, which is quite a bit. Although the school district is more than double the size of Ocean View and it's K-12, it's still considerable. But this is happening all over California, really. This is not just something that's occurring in LA or Orange counties. And unfortunately, it's not just California either. We're seeing a real dip in population, decline in birth rate nationwide. There's a lot of reasons for that. I guess I could get into what are my thoughts on it and why it's happening. And that would probably lead me down some paths that maybe we shouldn't be discussing even with children in the room. But the point is that it's happening. Okay, his mom's covering his ears. Thank you. Okay, I'll refrain. But the point is that we do have a decline in birth rate in our nation, and we're seeing that at our school sites specifically, up and down the state. And so what does that mean? What it means for our school districts is that we're not seeing as many students registering and attending our schools and having really small school sites. And we've been having that happen in the Ocean View School District for some time. Well, with the ABC Unified School District, I believe all 4 schools were under 300 kids, and they were like, nope, we're done, that we can't do this. And so 2 of them are going to shut this coming next year, and then the next year later, it'll be the other 2, and consolidate to move 6th graders to the middle school. And it's going to be a kind of a big move for everybody. It's made everyone really uncomfortable. There was an upset, but as it was pointed out by our superintendent there in ABC, it costs about $750,000 to $850,000 to run an elementary school. That's a lot of money when you have only 200 and some odd kids in a school. So it is concerning to me looking at some of our school sites here in the Ocean View School District, and I'm sad for our state and for our nation that we're having this issue, and hopefully it can turn around, but I don't foresee that happening anytime soon. Lastly, one thing that I did want to say is that I wanted to let voters know that your ballots for the special election that's going to be occurring on November 4th, your ballots will be coming in the mail actually this Monday, apparently, for Prop 50. I am going to be voting yes on Prop 50 because I want to make sure that we can approve the temporary maps moving forward. And they will be temporary and will sunset in 2030. It's a temporary move. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Trustee Gorsuch.
Thank you for recognizing me. I just, I want to say I love the art presentation. Thank you. I love hearing about the things that are being done in the arts. I'm a proud arts mom, from here in Ocean View, where my kids both got their start really and love of the arts, both performing and visual. So really, really loved the presentation. Thank you so much for that. I am really, really proud to be a part of a district that values the arts because it does, I think, community kind of felt like a theme tonight. We had the great Oakview presentation about that community and what they're doing for themselves, and the arts create and cultivate a community. Also, the anti-bullying program that are going on. Love that. It's all about community and making our kids feel safe where they are. So I'm just really, really happy to see the progress that we are making in this district in all of these ways to help to continue to build this community. And so really proud of Maureen and the VAPA program for the Golden Belt Honor. It's really exciting. So thank you very much.
Yeah, that is very, very exciting. We are now off to Vice President Souders.
Yeah, a lot of what I was going to talk about's already been said. I thank my colleagues for actually discussing those things. Population's down pretty much worldwide. Actually, it's more expensive things get in an industrialized in a modern nation. I mean, kids are some of the most expensive things on the menu. So they are. It's a lot of money. You want to buy a house. You want all those things. So we see it down, and there's some magic number. I forget what it was. I was listening to it on the radio one day, and we're down below that for a long time, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. But on the positive note, we do have really good cookies in this district, like phenomenal cookies. I'm not even kidding. If you've never had a chance to have, the chocolate chips were my favorite until I had a lemon cookie tonight, and then I was like, why am I wasting time on chocolate chip cookies? Yeah, they're just so good. They're like little pieces of clouds, lemon flavored clouds, just delicious. We really could sell those. I'm not even kidding.
And I'm like, wait, what?
I am being serious. They are really good. We have a phenomenal food service part of our district. They are artisans. They really are. And I want to say thank you to them because what you guys do, you are artists in your own way. And food is art and science. So thank you for what you do. So that's all I got.
I don't disagree with the whole cookie thing. I meant by saying like your serious note and then cookies. And I was like, yes, cookies. Okay, we'll go off to Trustee Westmoreland.
You know, I've got to build on that a little bit because he's not kidding. And I feel like we were sleeping on these lemon cookies for a while because I've only had chocolate chip. And I always go home with a bag for my kids. It's like how I make up to them that I'm gone. And my so I have two in middle school, and I have two very picky eaters, and then my middle one is my more adventurous. But they've always been like, I have to make their school lunches. And when my middle one started 6th grade, I'm like, I really think you want to try the lunches. Like, I'm eating the food at the board meetings. They have a salad bar, and it took about, I think, a week and a half, and he eats lunch at school every day. So thank you. If you could recruit my other two, I'd be really appreciative. But he's out there selling how good that salad bar and the lunches are. So thank you for that. I appreciate it, and I do appreciate the cookies, and I'd love to try any others that you might be sleeping on. And then I'll just circle back to the electives. I go round and round on this because I do, when we consolidated a school, it was one of the big things that we kind of sold is having some more standardization in the electives. And I love to see the Prop 28, like how we're using it. And I love the fact that we thought creatively outside of the box to use it for the Spanish culture class that we had. But I know it was rolled out more as like a wheel, and it's not truly Spanish. And I would love to see, I'm never going to stop saying I think we should have Spanish or a foreign language at every single middle school. I just think it's such a miss. I know these kids go to high school, and if they're going to be college bound, they're held to a standard of a number of foreign languages, and that eats up their electives in high school too. So I feel like we set them up at a disadvantage to go into high school with not even one foreign language under their belt. And I would really love to see us work on that and focus on that. And again, like President Singer said, the wheel to me is kind of a 6th grade thing. Like they're paying their dues. They might have to, if they don't want to do band or they don't want to do something else they can kind of elect to do, they get put into the wheel. But I know some kids that have been in the wheel now for multiple years, and they've gotten art a couple times, and it works because they like it. But it would be nice to see more things in 7th and 8th grade that they can kind of choose to do because that's something they want to do. And that's all I have for tonight. Thanks for hanging in there. And I know we got to go back to closed session, so I'll wrap it up.
Thank you, Trustee Westmoreland. I'm not going to divulge the flavor, but there is a flavor that I've tried that on the cookie subject that I'm going to encourage be here for the next board meeting that you guys are going to love. I tried it and I was like, where have these cookies been and why have I not seen them before? I think, Madam Clerk, you being Italian are going to think they're wonderful cookies. So I see our wonderful crew out there. I'm just putting it out there. If you want to bring those, I'm not even going to share the flavor. I'm going to let them be surprised. I'm not going to even say it. So that if you can't, I would understand. But as far as, I just want to share as far as the electives, I want to piggyback on a little bit of your comments is, I think we are doing a really good job, and I want to continue to commend our staff because they're doing really good. And I want to add to, as you know, my kids went through this wonderful district, and the wheel was great because it allowed them to try a little bit of everything in 6th grade and figure out what they really liked. But then when they went to 7th and 8th grade, they kind of picked what they enjoyed, and they were able to stick with it all year long. And so I'd like to see in all of our middle schools, allowing our 7th and 8th grade students to figure out, like, let's say they're passionate about, I don't know, culinary arts, hypothetically, that they should be able to do that all year in 7th grade if they so choose to. Or they want band, or they want art all year long. They should be able to do that. Right now there are some schools where we continue to let it be a wheel. And so 7th and 8th graders are stuck trying these 3 options, 7th and 8th grade. And it's like, they're kind of like, really? Like, why am I stuck here? Like, I want to do it all year long, or I want to find this one thing I really like, and I want you to give it to me as an option all year. So I do want us to focus a little bit more on that. We're doing a really good job, but I think we could continue to expand, especially when we did tell our community we would consider consolidation in the middle schools to ensure that our middle schoolers could have a good, robust elective options. I think the 7th and 8th grade students, as they've paid their dues as 6th graders, they should be able to have year-long electives in our middle schools. And good options. I personally am not a fan of hearing Google Classroom as an elective. I've said it before, I'll continue to say it. That to me is not, these kids know how to use. I mean, they can run circles around me on Google Classrooms. So when, to me, we offer this as a tech class, to me, it's like we're using it as a placeholder. Like, we should be more creative with even those little 6th graders. So I'm not a fan of Google Classrooms. I do not think it should be an elective, but that's my personal opinion. So I think we could do better. And I do agree with the language option. I would like to see Spanish come back into our middle schools if it's possible. I know it's tough with teachers and finding qualified, but I do support that. Okay, so with that, we will move on to yes, Madam Clerk, I apologize. Go ahead.
Well, something that we don't often do, but is allowed in Robert's rules, it's called a good of the order. So the good of the order would be a suggestion for cookies for all next time, not just the board.
Everybody.
Superintendent, can you just have cookies? Is it possible?
It's rain.
We do a lot of talking about this, and then the public's like, where's my cookie?
Right.
I think that I can probably bring a tray of cookies. I personally deliver them when we go and have lunch with the OVTA
That's very nice.
presidents.
Well, anyone that comes to the board meeting next time, whether they be employees or the public, there's our good of the order.
Good of the order. Cookies it is.
Bitter end.
I'm not going to make anybody stay to the end. That is not part of the good of the order here. But cookies I encourage. And, maybe, can it be part of the good of the order that we have like maybe 3 flavors of these wonderful cookies?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I mean, if we're going to do it, we should just go out with a big bang. Look, the audience said they agree with our good of order. All right.
These guys stay to the end.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for doing that. We should also call it good of order and congratulate Marine View and their Golden Bell recipient for their wonderful
Marine View.
Yay, Marine View.
Here,
Wonderful staff. Congratulations. The board cannot wait to accept your Golden Bell at CSBA in December. We are extremely proud of you. Congratulations, Marine View students and staff, for the wonderful work that you have done. Congratulations. And with that, we are now going to we're going to return into closed session. So it is 7:17. We are going back into closed session. Madam Clerk, if there were items to report, where would you be reporting that out of?
In front of Building C.
Okay, and so with that, we are moving on to closed session. Thank you to our wonderful audience that is still here. Okay.